Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time on this frigid Thursday evening, February the 20th. We got a USA and Canada hockey match in the Four Nations tournament that we want to make sure we get you guys out in time for. So we're going to keep it tight tonight. We're going to talk about the Cam Ward hype that is skyrocketing ahead of the NFL Combine. It's coming from a variety of different places, and of course, Titans fans are interested because they have the number one overall pick, and Cam Ward, by near consensus, is the best quarterback in this year's draft class. So we will dive into that. You'll hear from Louis Riddick. We'll ask you who you got between the USA and Canada. You better answer correctly. And then we'll wrap things up with a weekend bounce back before we send you on your way. And the next time we meet, it will be in Indianapolis. I will be in the Combine or at the Combine from Monday through Friday, and we will have exhaustive coverage. Brian Callahan is going to be on the radio show. Mike Borgonzi is going to be on the radio show. And we are going to have several other guests throughout the course of that week to get you ready for the NFL draft process. I'm going to save you the spiel because you guys know how to share this show, and I want to go ahead and get things started. I am going to remind you that the Primetime program is made possible each and every night by our wonderful partners. That's TrueMap Fitness in the Gulch. Your first workout is free. As a Middle Tennessee resident, no workout ever recycled or repeated. Go to TrueMapFitness.com for that first workout free. By Zen Sports, promo code ATOZTN gets you in on all the action. Terms and conditions do apply. Must be 21 plus and in the state of Tennessee to bet at Zen Sports. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. I don't know if I've said that already. I think I might have. Either way, Zen Sports, promo code ATOZTN. Bart Durham Injury Law. You deserve to be paid. They are the team to put you in position to succeed. Go to bartdurham.com for more information. And Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer, online at tworiversford.com for more information. Quality American-made Ford vehicles and award-winning customer service are on offer. So there is a lot of different things that you have going on ahead of the NFL Combine, but most notably, at least for a Titans fan, if you are paying attention to the pre-draft process and the pre-draft hype, you've noticed a lot more noise around interest or a lot more praise than I think you've seen in any of the weeks leading up or any of the months leading up to the NFL draft for Miami quarterback Cam Ward. Now, there's a couple of different things that we're going to get to with you, and the place that I want to start is this. Are you buying or selling the Cam Ward hype ahead of the Combine? Obviously, the Combine, he may or may not throw. That's not been determined yet. He's definitely going to meet with teams. He will go through the medical evaluation process. We'll see how many of the drills beyond the throwing that he actually does. But Cam Ward, understandably so, is getting a lot of interest and intrigue because he is the most talented quarterback prospect in this year's draft class. So are you buying or selling the Cam Ward hype at this point in time? You guys answer in the comments. I'll tell you how I feel about it here in just a second. But first, let's go to a credible source who is a part of the hype, and that's Louis Riddick, whose evaluations on these players I very much trust.
But I will say this about Cam Ward, and I have no issue about what he did in the bowl game.
Really?
I don't care about that. I don't, because you know what? Look, this guy, think about Cam Ward's story from his start at Incarnate Ward as a 0-star recruit. 0 stars. 0. Goes to Washington State, rips it up at Washington State, and decides to transfer to Miami because he knew he needed to up his resume in terms of winning, in terms of being able to win it at the highest level, because that's what we always judge quarterbacks by. I got to talk to this guy now 3 different times. Got to talk to him at Washington State up there in Pullman. Got to talk to him down in Tampa when they played South Florida this year, and we did that game, and got to talk to him again before they played Georgia Tech. Ask Mario Cristobal about the kind of leader that this guy is and what he did to Miami football in the offseason from the time he decided to transfer from Washington State to the time they stepped on the football field. He took over this program, they said, like no one he has ever seen it. And Mario has played with some great players, some of the greatest of all time at the U. This guy is the ultimate consummate leader. He plays with a gigantic-sized boulder on his shoulder. It's not a chip. It's a boulder. He is very confident in the work that he has put in, and he should be because he's supremely smart. He is supremely talented, and he's deadly serious about the game. And he feels as though, even at this point in time, people still don't really believe that he's as good as he is. And he can play. he directed that passing attack down there at Miami this year with the kind of precision and kind of maturity that is worthy of being considered a number 1 overall pick. It just is. And when he gets to the NFL level, he will be the guy who – what is the first thing that people said about Jaden Daniels when he went to Washington? They were surprised – not surprised, that everyone was impressed about the fact that he was there at 5 a.m. every day and he's the last guy to leave. And that's not just for show. It's because that's part of his process. It's the same thing with Cam Ward. And he will have that same kind of effect. He may not be warm and fuzzy to everybody because this dude is assassin serious about his craft. And I believe him when he says he's going to try and make everybody pay. And I don't think that's just hyperbole.
So that's Louis Riddick on First Take. Brandon Tyler on YouTube asked, do you have an issue with him sitting out the end of the bowl game? It was the second half of the bowl game, not the end of the bowl game. But my principle still stands. Not going to lie, I think he's a stud, but I don't love that. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. So I get that some people don't love it. I couldn't give a single solitary shit about it. It's so unimportant to me because it's the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Like, it's not the national championship game. It's not like he pulled himself out of a regular season game as they were competing for the playoff. I know that they didn't make the playoff, and that's not on Cam Ward. That's on his defense. To be honest with you, he bailed his defense out of far more situations than they deserve to be bailed out of this year. But I could not possibly care less about guys pulling themselves out of bowl games or working in conjunction with the team. And also, that was as much Miami's decision as it was Cam Ward's decision because they wanted to get a look at the backup quarterback in the second half. And ultimately, they decided they didn't like what they saw from the backup quarterback in the second half, and they signed Carson Beck out of the portal. So, yeah, it's just there's practical reasons why it happened. And I get the optics to some people. I mean, I won't say that I get it because I don't. I genuinely don't see why people are bothered by this. But you're entitled to your opinion. If that's something that's going to stick with you, that's fine. I will tell you, teams do not care. Teams do not care at all. I know the Titans don't care about that particular situation. So with everything that you have, are you buying or selling? Everything going on right now, buying or selling the hype around Cam Ward? I buy it to an extent. I mean, he's a hugely talented player. He's a first-round pick in this year's draft. He would have been a first-round pick in last year's draft. There's just some things that he's got to clean up and some things that you got to be cautious of depending on where he lands and if he has the proper support system to allow him to succeed. I don't think if he went to Tennessee, he'd necessarily be a success because there's not enough here to help him succeed. Could they change that? Could free agency help that? Could the draft process play itself out in a way that makes you feel significantly better about that? Potentially, yeah. But I mean, right now, it's about as much where these players land as who these players are to me. In fact, it's more about where these players land than who these players are. Because I don't doubt that Shedeur or Cam Ward are capable of being NFL starters. What I do doubt is that they can be successful in any situation that you drop them into, and that's something that Titans fans have to be cognizant of. Let's keep it moving because we have the USA and Canada getting ready to drop the puck in the Four Nations tournament here in just a second. And this, Richie asks why the show started early. This is why, because I want to watch the USA-Canada game, and I know most of you do too. 10.1 million households watch that game on Saturday night, and this is, of course, the final in Boston. So, yes, we all want to watch this hockey game this evening. But that begs the question, who you got? We're doing an abbreviated primetime show tonight, but the hockey game is about to begin. Who you got, USA or Canada? And if you answer Canada, well, you may need to listen to Taylor Lewan.
Been a lot of chatter, a lot of whispers. Oh, sorry, it's just an exhibition game. This ain't no fucking exhibition game. 28 years they've been laughing at us. For 28 years, they've been calling us second best. And when they were booing the national anthem, they forgot who runs this town. They forgot that we've been running the world since 1776. They forgot that 50 stars, 13 bars, these colors don't run. And tonight, at 7 p.m. Central, they're gonna find out exactly why this healthcare ain't free. When the clock strikes 0, Canadian tears are just streaming down your face. There'll be one chant, and one chant only. Good luck, boys.
I'm never more patriotic than when there's international sports competition going on. Nothing galvanizes me as an American citizen. I'm a dual citizen, but as an American citizen, nothing galvanizes me more than international sports competition. It is one of the things that I think can still unify us on a regular basis. I don't think it's certainly not the political system, but it is Team USA, whether it be hockey, whether it be basketball, whether it be Olympic competition writ large. It's always exciting, and certainly there was a lot of juice coming out of that first USA-Canada matchup, and I expect tonight to meet the moment. So obviously I'm going with Team USA. I would love to see the Americans take this from the Canadians twice, especially in their favorite sport. We'll see how that plays out. All right, weekend bounce back quickly before we let you get out of here for the evening. Who needs to bounce back? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or on Twitch? In the comment section, I will tell you that the person who may need to bounce back is Aaron Rodgers, to hear Tyler Dunn tell it.
What does your gut tell you right now where Aaron Rodgers playing football next year?
I like the way you framed it because it's a gut feeling. This isn't based on specific conversations with execs, with coaches, because I think all that's going to happen next week in Indianapolis, and we'll all get a clearer picture of the situation, Zach. But I think this is Bill Belichick in quarterback form. I think that he probably wants to play, wants to start, wants to make money, and I'll be surprised if a team gives him that opportunity. I don't know how a GM, a head coach, hell, an owner can see what happened in Green Bay, can see what happened with the New York Jets, and allow Aaron Rodgers to nuke your building in the same form and fashion. Is he really going to want to start for a team at quarterback and just play quarterback? I would be shocked if that's the case for somebody that we've seen the same storyline play out again and again and again. It's bringing the buddies, whether they're coaches, whether they're players. It's pseudo GM, assistant to the assistant GM, Dwight Schrute-esque. I don't know. I mean, it's so obvious at this point, right? It's not just one of us kind of trying to explain this to people from conversations behind the scenes. It was on full public display. I would, even though there are a lot of options out there at quarterback via trade, free agency, the draft, I don't know why any team would do it.
So you think he's getting shut out completely is what you're saying?
It's a gut feeling, right? I think that it's Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach ever, and nobody wanted him to come in and completely take over a building, right? You bring in Bill Belichick, it's not just to coach the team. He's going to want to have some personnel control. We saw how his drafts ended there in New England. He left Elliott Wolf with, bare cupboards, really. There's a lot more that goes into it than just saying Aaron Rodgers is a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. Of course he should start day one. You're bringing in a lot more than that, just like you're bringing in a lot more than just Bill Belichick coaching your defense, coaching your team. I don't know. Maybe there's a desperate owner out there, but Woody Johnson, not one of the best owners, to put it mildly. So he was duped. The Jets were duped. I don't know who will get duped again.
It's an interesting conversation. If Aaron Rodgers gets shut out of an NFL opportunity in free agency this year, that will be incredibly telling. All right, the puck is about to drop between the USA and Canada. I appreciate you guys jumping in early for this abbreviated primetime program, but the main event is now ahead of us. I will look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on 104.5 The Zone. Last primetime show before we head up to Indianapolis, because for travel purposes, we will next touch base with you on Tuesday. So we will look forward to having you guys up there in Indy with us. We've got a lot of great conversations planned. Looking forward to getting further into the draft process with you. Have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you tomorrow morning on the radio show.